Dungeons and Dragons, the fantasy adventure board game, often described as being much like Heroquest. But how much like Heroquest is it? Hello and welcome to another Dungeon Crawlers Retrospective. This time we're going to be tackling Dungeons and Dragons, the fantasy adventure board game. This was released by Parker. There's the box. It was released back in 2002 by Parker Brothers, I guess. It's only Parker here, which is actually a division of Hasbro, and Hasbro own Wizards of the Coast, who own Dungeons and Dragons. This was designed by Amanda Birkinshaw and Barry Yearsley, and some of you are probably looking at this going, I've never seen this before. Possibly some people in North America is going, what the heck is this? That's because apparently this only came out in Europe. European release only. It's been described as being much like Heroquest, so what we're going to find out in this retrospective is how much like Heroquest is it. Well, the first thing we want to do really is get inside the box. The box has a central warrior figure. The warrior takes centre stage. We could say much like Heroquest with its barbarian, but here we have, his name's Ragnar, something like that, Rogar, I forget his name. And then in the background are the supporting heroes, much like Heroquest. And then outlining them is the monsters they face. Again, much like the Heroquest board. But does that make it a bad thing? This is the back. I like it. Now, let's get into it. I have not opened this for years, so this is going to be, even though I have opened it in the past, it's going to be quite exciting for me. These we'll get to in a bit later on. These are the expansion books. I've obviously stuck them in there. There's some cards going loose, which we'll get to in a minute. And obviously, they've come out from here. I've not bagged them as normal. First thing you'll see in the box is the leaflet telling you about the game, but I've got the game. Oh no, it's telling you about the expansions, I guess. No, that's about the game. That's the main game, but I've already got the main game. This telling you about the first expansion, which again we'll cover a bit later on, the Eternal Winter. This is an advert for D&D 3.5. which was the edition out at the time, and I can't find my books. I used to have all those, but I can't find them. More cards spawning up, we can tidy those up as we go along. These are the character sheets. So, Redgar, that was his name. Redgar, that's the warrior. Miley, she's an elven wizard. Lida, she was the halfling rogue. And Jozan, the human cleric. Now they tried to make these characters iconic. They're featured in the D&D 3.5 book a lot. They even made it into a choose your own adventure DVD called The Scouring of the Worlds, I think. I've got it downstairs, it's quite fun. Inside there's loads of chits and tokens, but we have the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Player's Guide. So this is pretty much mimicking D&D itself. The Player's Guide has the rules, much like the Player's Handbook. Has a bit about background there. It's full colour. One thing that is actually different already, maybe I'd see here, is the characters level up to level 3. So that's quite cool. As they go on, they get better. But this is the basic rules of the game. There. Now look away now if you're interested in ever playing this, because we're going to have a quick look at the DM's guide. So this is where all sort of the quests are. And we'll show you how to set up the rules of the DM, how to set up the game and what things are and where they go. Using monsters, running the game, and here are the quests. Now these are maps that look much like Heroquest, really. They have symbols for the monsters, symbols for the items, a bit about the thing, and then a bit at the bottom when they've completed. So, and symbols what happens if they trigger things, much like you see in Heroquest. Black map there to make your own. Photocopy this, I guess, if you want to. Nowadays, scan and print, I guess. Effectively, this book is just the quests, which is cool. You get a load of stuff. You don't get models to represent furniture like Heroquest. So unlike Heroquest, you get cardboard standouts. So this is a tree, and go here. This is a door, so you'd put that over here, show it's locked, and then flip it when it's opened. So it's gone. So I think I prefer the doors, but this might be easier just for gameplay bits and pieces. Yeah, you have pillars, just slot together like so. So, a load of them, load of doors. Pillars and doors, loads of them, and you have these little things here, if I can make sure we've got everything, which are traps, keys, items. That's a trap, have it like that, disabled, trap, treasure chest, you have a load of them. Shoot, the dice normally live here, but I've obviously in a rush not put it away last time I played it, which was about 15 years ago. And you have things like this. I forget what that is. There's a blobby thing, swordy thing. These are just markers and chits for the use of the game. Now, much like Heroquest, this uses its own custom dice for combat and other actions as well. So you have different types of combat dice. You have an orange, a yellow, a red and a purple. Now these dice are better. So the yellow, I believe, is the weakest, so it just has a lot of ones and a few misses, so you're not going to do a lot of combat damage of that. I think the orange is next, with gets introduced to some twos. The red are the next strongest with threes, but again you can still miss on these dice. I don't think the orange has, yeah, the orange doesn't have a miss on it, whereas the red has a miss, but it also has a 3. I think the purple's the best because it doesn't have a miss, but it has 2 3s on there. So these are effectively, we'll cover this in the rules, but these are effectively what you're going to be rolling during combat. To begin with, I dare say most people are going to be using these ones, but then as you get better and get better equipment, you probably add that to it, and etc, etc. It's a cool system, the dice. I've always been a fan of custom dice like this in games. But also you have these ability dice. So you have, you have to forgive me because I've been a while since I've looked at these, but yeah, that's going to be like the trap dice, disarm and search for traps. I forget what that is. There's a healing one, I believe. We'll cover this in the rules, and there's a turn undead dice as well. That could be what that one is. I believe that could be the turn undead dice, depending on the strength of the monster you're trying to turn. There's all those. I'll probably put these into a bag at some point, like I do with all my others. But the nice thing about this set is, I like instantly, is each area has its own compartment in the box already. I like that, rather than just an empty box, or a box that looks big but really just got those, what they call filler bits in. The latest D&D edition has that. That's annoying. And that says that. And we have a load of cards, again, in their own compartment. Probably a bit out of order now. Let's have a... Out of order. You're out of order cards. Let's have a look. Try and make some sort of semblance out of them. I think most of them are going to be of this type, which are the event decks. I think if you look here, and they go a bit different here. So that's... Oh yeah, that's... I'll get onto that in a minute. Just trying to... Yeah, so most of these are going to be like of this type, and they're going to be things like spells, and you can see what dice they grant you, and abilities and so forth. So yeah, these are going to be like the adventure deck. So pull this out, you get a spell. Pull this one out, you're going to be having a wraith. I'm going to punch up with a wraith. And such thing. Actually, not pulling out this. That's separate. I'm just seeing now. That's the spell backs, which looks quite similar. Spell cards, monster cards. Yeah, they're all out of order, but I should have. I thought it'd be a surprise for myself to have a look after all these years, but I should have done a bit of prep work. These are the character cards. So you take one of these, tells you all their special abilities. So I've got more spell cards here. I'll just go in there. Artifacts. So these are going to be in there as well. So it's spells and artifacts. Oh, these are the items. Spells and items. I guess go there. This is what all of these are, I believe. Spells and items. Quickly sort them out to piles. I think most of the deck is going to be made up of this type, which is spells and items. Weapon. Bone Cleaver. And let's quickly make sure. Just going to give it a rough. Oh, tree! Who's this guy? Another character card. Dungeon Master. So even got cards for the Dungeon Master, so I'll need that. Those. We'll have a look at the monsters separately in a minute. Seems to be a lot of monster cards. Not that many monsters in the game. Unless there's one for each model. There's lots of models, but not many types. Well, more generous than advanced Heroquest anyway. Yeah, brilliant. I should have really done this before we started. You might not even see this. Might edit it out. Probably won't, because I'm terrible at editing things out on this, so I should. Right, cool. So, yeah, what we've got first are the got the player cards here. These are for the players, so there's one card each for the player characters, one card each for the Dungeon Master. Now these will tell them such things like, here it's just got the rules for the Dungeon Master, what he can do. Here it's got a bit of blurb about what she is, a sneak, she's a thief, she can search traps using this dice. I didn't find a trap. You can disarm traps with the disarm trap side. Assuming that cross is bad. Done really well, haven't found traps, and I couldn't disable them if I wanted to. So red card doesn't really have any special dice. Josen has his turn undead dice, and melee doesn't, but she has spells. That's those cards. These are going to be the sort of dungeon deck, if you like, the items and equipment and spells and such forth. So it's got a spell, weapons, balance throwing daggers, potions. I mean, the artwork is still really nice on these. I like the artwork on these. So yeah, here's, if I was to use this Blessed Bow of the Elves, I get to take, when I use it, I get to throw the yellow, orange, and this special black dice here. And if I get one of these results, yay, I do this time, get the star, At the bottom here I get what this is here. This will tell me that if I roll star on this I get 1 spell point back, which seems a nice thing. So yes, there's loads of weapons in here. Some are just standard where you just roll some dice, some are better than others, some have special rules that you can get a chance to get to play with. So that is really cool. I like the variety in these with these. Next we got the monster deck cards. That's these here. These are the monsters, and what these are, these will be Ray 3. Each monster there is multiple types of, but on the model itself there is a little number to indicate, you know, what it is, so you can keep track of the monsters. So we're going to have a Wraith, Carrion Crawler, Ogre 1, Ogre 2, Ogre 3, Ogre 4, Lich. Everyone loves the Lich. Some Gnolls, standard D&D fare here. They have what dice they use, their stats here, what symbol they are when they all appear on the map. So Wraiths, Gnolls, see these Goblins, again standard skeletons, much like Heroquest. I gotta stop saying that. I feel I'm not gonna be stopping saying that through this review. Gnolls, that's just a trap card. Booby trap. I like booby traps, full of boobs. Bugbears. I love a bugbear. Troll. A white. Ooze. Ooze. More goblins. Yes, cool. That's what these are. That's those set of cards. Now what these are, these last set, these are your initiative cards. So on the back they have numbers going from 1 to 5. And what you do is, at the start of each new room setup, you shuffle these up, hand them to the players, 1 each. DM gets 1, and then you flip over, and this is the turn order. And I believe it actually starts from 1, so already I can see that I'm going last as the DM here because I gave myself 5. And it changes up each time you go into a room, so that's a nifty thing, and that's sort of initiative for SBG players, or priority for SBG players, initiative for D&D players. Got the boards next. The boards are these little double-sided squares. But throughout these you get a real nice sort of variety of dungeon going on. They're numbered in the corner here, if you see this. So that's 7, that's 8 on the reverse side. So you can get some real nice cool dungeons going on, joining them together. Well, in this case you've got a bit of outside area here. So and if you put it together with this one, you get a tower. So you've got the boards, they're really nicely detailed, which you would expect coming later than say Heroquest, which is okay. But this still is, it's modern games I feel are computer generated and they all look a bit samey. This sort of straddles the line between two. It's still got some sort of hand painted stuff, but you can tell it's obviously done on the computer now, even back in then. But it still doesn't have that samey look where nowadays a lot of these are just cut and paste. I mean, this sort of is. Those two here that I'm pointing out are the same, just rotated. You don't really even get that nowadays. So it's the crossover period between having nice hand-drawn boards that I love to computer-generated boards that look a bit samey. It's that crossover period, but they're quite nice and detailed. I mean, you got some runes on there, grass there, and lots of skeletons to be in here. Not a skeleton. But you noticed already probably, oh, if I knock the mic over, yeah, so you can see two different boards, but we have, mine shot, we have the same skeleton there on two different types of board, and the repetition of this one square here I can see appearing there. So that square there is the same as these here. So it's yeah, it's not as cool. It's a bit samey, but let's get on to the good stuff, shall we? Now, I think this may have some bits in from the expansion, so we'll ignore him, such as this dragon does not belong in here for now. So we're just going to get rid of him for now, and I'll sort of do the same. If I see anything from the expansion, I'll quickly remove it. Yeah, I've got some bits and pieces here. Things like this as well, that's obviously fell out from here. So this would be an item you pick up. It's a key. But in here are the models. What I will do is let's fix the zoom in so we can see, shall we? Okay, and what I've tried to do is hopefully removed all the non-base set miniatures from here. Let's have a look at some heroes first, if I can see them. Have a look at Lyda the Halfling first. There she is. Looking quite a little crossbow. That's now, I remember with this, if I can find her now, the elf wizard melee, I actually didn't get in the box. I got another Lyda. So what I had to do is do a conversion, which I was quite proud of. So she looks like an elven wizard with a staff. Yeah. That was quite annoying, but what am I going to do? So I might have a look for one on eBay now. I think eBay was probably in its infancy when I got this. So back then, people only sold old stuff. Here is, what's his name? Rogar. I forgot his name already, but he's the warrior. They're not bad miniatures. They're made from this really weird, sticky rubber material. And they were colour coded, so if you didn't paint them, all the heroes are purple. And the monsters themselves were in a sort of colour you would expect. Goblins were green, so forth. Undead was white, much like Heroquest. Can't find any other bloody heroes now. There's probably only one, isn't there? It's probably the... I bet he's in the expansion box, so there might be a scene later on when we'll go through the expansions where he's in the expansion box. Because there should be another hero. Oh, we'll find him as we go along. I can't see him at the moment. He's either... Oh, there he is. Found him. There we go. Don't panic, everyone. Here is Jozan, the cleric, with his sun shield, which I forget what god that is in D&D. In the third. Yeah, I kind of like these. I do like these miniatures for this game. They represent it really well. Let's get the gobbos out of the way and things like that. So there's the gobbos. And what I can't really show you in this light is somewhere on them. Yeah, it's on the back. You'll see a rock, and that says free. Believe it or not. And then this gobbo says 2. This one's 5. So you got the numbers on the back. So that's just help you keep track of their hit points. And these are pretty standard D&D gobbos for the time. I didn't go green skin because they didn't have green skin. They're pretty much like Lord of the Rings ones, really. Here's number 4. 4, yeah. So there's the gobbos. That's the gnolls. I think there's 5 of these. These are for non-D&D players, sort of hyena men, hyena humanoids. And that's with all the models. They look a bit flat from the side, but they're alright for the onwards. They're a bit more. They take a bit more of a beating. It's got loads of gnolls. Skip ahead, another goblin. To the bugbears. Suitably menacing, suitably bugbear-like. Again, flat from the side. Don't know why that is. Skull. And they will have the rock somewhere with the number on. That's number 1. I gave up painting the number in the end. Have a number of bugbears. And this set was worth getting hold of for these miniatures if you're a D&D player. Some of these miniatures are quite difficult. Was it ogres? I think it's ogres. Ogres, nasty looking ogres. Another ogre. A skeleton. Not a skeleton, that's a white. That's how I pick up a skeleton. These look like some sort of gladiator type guy, not the travelator type gladiators, the Roman ones. And their trident. The helmet looks very Romanesque, kind of like those. Number of skeletons. A white D&D white, kind of cool. It's the game zombie, I guess, if you like. I think I want to have basic zombie, so I went for white. Kind of cool. Skeletons there. A wraith. Just looking, I don't know, spectral like. The best, I guess, but does a job for a wraith. Carrion crawler. These are big sluggy things. This one would have been green, originally all green. A skeleton there. And some trolls. I love some trolls. Again, green. And these are had really flat features, like his nose, maybe a long nose, is just flat to its face, pointing straight down. So that was weird on these ones, but because they are just flat from the side, so I guess you couldn't, for whatever reason. That's your trolls. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but this box here is really cool and detailed. There's like a skeleton here. I changed the zoom just for the box, so you can see. You know, I've got a skeleton here. There's a sword here. Skull here. Axe here. It's all like a rock, which is cool. I think that is it though. A few more chits and tokens underneath, but that is it for it. And that is what's inside the box. As normal for games like this, and much like Heroquest, one player takes the role of the games master, whilst the others control the heroes. This game, there must be 4 heroes in play, so if there are less than 5 players, some will have to play more than one hero. The cards are then separated into 3 piles for items, special items and monsters. Special items are those that are going to be quest rewards and given out probably by the DM or Games Master, and they're denoted by the little symbol in the top right corner, top left corner. And items have a level in there instead, so this is a level 3 item. The DM will announce the adventure level, which can be 1, 2 or 3. Any cards with a higher level than this are then removed. So if we're playing a level 1 adventure, the cards from the deck with this level 3 would be removed. The players then set their characters' hit points, which are on the sheets here, and spell points if they have them, which are on here and here, and take their basic items, which are denoted on this card here. The DM places the boards on the table and puts a closed door icon in the starting room, and then reads out the adventure and the objective. The hero figures are then placed in the room and the adventure begins. The dungeon is then set up room by room as the heroes explore them. As the players move into a new room, the DM will place any doors, chests, trees or pillars and place monsters. And we'll also look at the room to see if there are any sneaky traps that are in the room. The game uses initiative cards to decide turn order. Each time a new door is opened, the cards are then shuffled and then dealt out to each player and one to the DM. Once the room has been set up, the cards are flipped over and play continues in the order of the cards, with one going first, until a new door is opened, and then this step is repeated. Much like Heroquest, players can take 2 actions during their turn. They can move, open a door, open a chest, change an item, or perform a combat action with a weapon or spell. Some heroes can also do some special actions, such as casting a spell, searching for traps, disabling traps, sneaking, turning undead, and healing. The game uses special dice for various actions, such as searching for traps, which uses the search die, disarming traps, which uses the disabled die, a special action die for weapons and such forth, and a turning undead dice. Much like Heroquest, the DM can take 2 actions with monsters such as move and attack. Combat is done by rolling the relevant combat dice, and the total number of swords rolled is the attack strength. The different coloured dice represent how good the dice is. Yellow being weakest, orange being next strongest, red being very good, and purple being the best. The opponent's armour class is then subtracted from the attack strength. The remaining value is the amount of damage dealt. There are also power attacks that can be done instead of a normal attack, but there is a risk to this. If a star is rolled, that weapon is lost and that card is then discarded. There were 2 expansions released for the game. In 2003 you had the Eternal Winter expansion, and then in 2004 you had the Forbidden Forest expansion. Now this had, the Eternal Winter had like a snow ice theme as you'd expect, and the Forbidden Forest had a sort of, well, Forbidden Forest setting in it. Each one had its own big custom miniature, but we'll get to that. For what we'll do is we'll have, because I've got them here, we might as well have a look at what you get in the expansions. So if I grab them all out, it's bent cards, straighten them out, brilliant. So yeah, I got some bent cards, excellent. So straighten these out so we now know what these are. I haven't opened this for a while. In fact, I don't think I was the last person to open this. Grr. We'll sort these out later on. But yeah, you got with it. You got the book, Eternal Winter, which details all of the new rules, the new hero you're going to get with it, new rules, new dice, and the new adventure. I think these dice are for climbing. Yeah, you can get ascend and descend and fly. So with it you're going to get the new hero. He is called Morkand. He's like a barbarian, much like Heroquest. Where's his model? Where are you, Morkand? Oh, here he is. Here he is. So there he is. Quite a cool model. I'm not going to change the zoom for this, but not too bad. Like him. Big double axe wielding dude. Bit of detail on him. Quite cool. With this, you've got some ice salamanders. These are these sort of things. Got 3 of those. These are all, I don't really see that colour on. These are all sort of a nice colour. Ice salamanders. You got some woofers, some wolves. Snow wolves, I guess. And you got goblins on eagles. I always found that weird, but anyway, goblins on eagles. Perhaps these eagles are being subjugated by the goblins. You had the ascend and fly dice, just one of those. But this was its special piece, the ice dragon, I guess. So this was made in a see-through plastic. So I've not, when I painted it, I didn't really paint over it. I painted in a bit of mouth, bit of eyes, because I liked it see-through. One of those. You got some more tokens for the game. And you got some cards. You got the warrior card, some new spells here, and in here would be the monster cards and the spell cards. Is not in any order. So you got a winter knoll, which isn't in here. I think you're just meant to use your normal ones. Frost salamander. So you just use your normal knolls. That's what I remember now. That freaked me out when I first got it. Normal knolls from the game, but they're now winter knolls, so different stats. What's his name? Stratifor, the dragon. Yeah. Winter wolves. Goblin marauder on the eagle. Got some weapons here. And a frost salamander. Winter goblins, again, just use your normal ones. I was a bit freaked out on that. So yeah, that's what you get in this set. Let's have a look at the Forbidden Forest set. Oh, before we do pack it away, there's one quite important thing in here that I haven't shown yet. That's these underneath tiles. Yay! They get 2 tiles in this, and they continue the number system from the first one. So you got 11, 12, and 13, and 14. Sort of unique for this. So, well, I'll say unique, but you know, same problem as last time. A bit of repetition in the cutting and pasting. But we got tiles that represent the frost area. So here you can sort of have it coming in from your greenery area, leading into a frosty type area, like so, if you wanted to. So yeah, the new tiles, pretty cool. Now let's have a look at the Forbidden Forest. I dread to think what state this one's going to be in. This is the Forbidden Forest. I think this bit here was for the hero, as I remember. That looks on the back. Have a little look. Dread to think. Oh, I've not painted all these ones, so that's more bent cards. These boxes do not look after your cards. I'm going to have to sort this out before we start playing this again. So the first thing is you get the book. So this will have the new character stuff, new rules and bits and pieces, rings, my precious, and stuff. It will also have the adventures. Quick look away if you don't want to see that. So in here we've got the special dice. Because each expansion had a special dice. I forget which one this is called. The charge dice, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So it's got feet on. 1, 3, 2, 2. That's what that is. We have the special cards. These aren't too badly bent, these ones, but cards for it. So we've got Braces of Speed, the Ring of Someone, and the Ring of Traps. And again, cards for the game. These would be charge cards. So that's got a charge card. Here's your sort of hero character guy called Orwick and Elwick. So they got 2 heroes in this time. Same sort of dealio as before. You're going to have your monster cards and your hero cards and your adventure cards. Let's have a look what monsters we are going to expect to see in here. Let's get these down. We can expect to see a razor ball. We'll find them as we go. Yep, oh, I thought I'd actually painted all these, so I might have to have a hobby vlog coming up of me painting these. So there is a razor ball. So that is a Yanti Half-Blood. So that's this snake creature here. I have a few of those. A Shambling Mound. That's kind of like some sort of Cthulhu Lovecraftian forest monster there. And an owlbear. Yay! Owlbears. Some owlbears. I thought there was something else in here, but there's not. So that's all the monsters. The heroes, there's a wild boar. So with this you've also got some terrain, we've got some bushes, because we had trees in the main set. This one we have shrubs and bushes. Oh, great. Good demonstration. Shrubs and bushes. That's what they are. Some special, again, icons and tokens. It's like a leaf thing, leaf trap I should imagine of some kind. Never played this set, so treasure chest. And we also have the villain. I'm imagining this would be some sort of druidic villain who has a headdress, I think, that goes on like so. That comes off. Goes on like so. I think he also has a staff. There's actually some assembly in these ones. There's a staff. And I think that goes on before the headdress, but he has like a cloak on. So it's quite actually makes, when it's all set up, quite an imposing figure. I think it's like that. So yeah, that's quite an imposing enemy if you're going to be facing that. So I think that's what was originally in that section there. And our hero on this set, which Ulrich or something. These are Ulrich and Selwick, so they must be related of some kind. That. And of course we have the new tiles, 2 new tiles like before. So it's 15 and 16, 17 and 18, and these obviously have a heavy forest influence, but leading up to some sort of forest dungeon castle. So that's pretty cool. And I said it has 1 hero card, but it looks like there's 2, so perhaps that is a hero and not a villain. It's Elwick and Ulrich, human druids. So I think they possibly are. He's possibly evil, maybe. Who knows? We'll find out if everyone likes this game and they want to see it played more. Perhaps we can get to this stage and play through the whole thing. But that's the expansions. Much like games of this age, much like Heroquest, it's long out of print. It's so your best bet is to turn to the second-hand markets. Now, bizarrely, this game isn't too expensive second-hand. I mean, it goes for about 30 quid on various second-hand markets. What are more expensive, though, are the expansions, which go between 75 to 175 each. And if you buy them combined, they can be quite expensive. But as you can see, originally this cost me $14.99 from Leisure Games. So, but yeah, so going from 14 quid to 75 quid to 175 quid, yeah, so gonna have to turn to second-hand markets. But how does it play? Well, for that you're gonna have to turn to our Let's Play of this game, where we're gonna play just the base set. So I hope you're tuning for that. Until next time, guys, take care. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button and leave a comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Stick with the channel for many great videos to come.